was like, you can park over here so that you can come on in and play. And I was like, no, I don't play an instrument, but I sing like Alanis Morissette. And he goes, do you really? Come on in, you can sing with us. What do you think, Douters? Are you impressed?
Tell me how's it feel? Tell me how's it feel? Sitting on that.
Dr. Neva, it's like a paranoid working over my back. It's like... Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I am continuing on my trip and we're heading down the road a bit to Milford State Park. It is on the Milford Lake in Kansas, which is in Gary County. And I am really excited for this site. I just parked here. Finally, I figured out what to do. I came in after 4 o'clock, so everything was closed, but they already had my site reserved. I forgot how good this place was. Wait till you see my view out my window. This is it. This is called Cedar Point. I mean, how gorgeous is this? And this is a state park. I think it was only $23 a night. I have hookup right here. I have water. I have electric. Look at this patio. A brand new picnic table. Like, this is awesome. What do you think, Douters? Are you impressed? I don't know. Everything's a mess here, so I have to get myself in chillax mode. So by the time I got everything all organized and arranged and got into my chillax mode, the sun was just starting to set. So I got to spend some time just hanging out and watching the sunset. Now, I had no clue at the time, but for some reason, I woke up in the middle of the night and I heard some commotion outside and I wasn't sure what was going on. And so I got up and I opened up my slider door and then I looked up at the sky. I could actually see with the naked eye the northern lights. I could capture it on my phone, but I could not capture it on video. But you're just gonna have to deal with some still photos instead. That is the first time I have ever seen that. I couldn't have been at a better place with absolutely nothing to impede my view of the sky. Good morning. Douters and I are walking our garbage down before we leave. This is a really nice campground. It's getting packed in here right now though, as you can see. All the different kinds of rigs. We're gonna head down the road a little bit today. Not quite sure where we'll end up. I have an idea. This is where the northern lights were last night. I should have come down here to get pictures, but I was too lazy. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. But this was a really nice campgrounds for 25 bucks. Oh, I got a tip for you guys. Oh, to save a little bit of money, what you should do is book this when you're in Kansas and when you're on the phone, because I only paid $23. I paid no tax doing it over the phone. That was kind of interesting. So I saved $2, $2.75 on my second night. I got a picture of the northern lights with this little camper in the background. And they're not here right now. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna print it out with my printer and put it on their door before I leave. Turn the Kodak on. Let's see. I think the button's here. Okay, let's find the picture. Yeah, I think this is the one I want to print. Okay. Let's just let that roll. Now guys, this is not a sponsored post, but I just have to share with you this little mini Kodak printer. It's a P300R that I got off of Amazon. I will leave it linked below if you want to check it out, but this is so perfect for me to capture different moments when I'm in my travels and I want to be able to remember the people that I meet or some places that I've been, and I get to pin them up all over my van and be able to look back at the memories. And best of all, I get to print out copies and share them with my fellow travelers. I thought I seen them walking around. This is like the last thing I have to do, and then we can go. Oh, here they come. Here they come. Just a minute. All right, here's the other part of this lake. Such a pretty, I mean, look at this. Such a gorgeous day today for a drive. After leaving the Milford State Park, I decided to head down the road heading west as my destinations are having me travel, and I found a few roadside attractions. If you've been following my vlogs, you know I absolutely love a cool roadside attraction. The first one is called the largest Czech egg, and it is in a little small town called Wilson, Kansas. And we have this huge Czech egg. How cool is that? There's some information here you can pause to read about the coat of arms and the history of Czechoslovakia. Red equals health, joy, and happiness. Yellow is good fortune. Black is eternity and respect for souls. And white is purity and birth. If this was painted by over... Seriously, I'm trying to do a YouTube video. This was painted by over 50 local volunteers. More than 2,000 hours. What do you think of this, Douters? I don't think he really cares. This is Wilson Lake. This is a gorgeous lake. There's a big Wilson State Park around here that we're driving around, heading to our next little stop-off destination for some more sightseeing. Ooh, that's pretty. That's a pretty little stop-off right there. So pretty. We are about 5 minutes away from our next location, which I hope is open at this point in time. I think it is. It's only 2 o'clock now. Let's see what we got. One of the things that I love to do when I am road tripping and traveling across our country is I love to look for different roadside attractions and different sites that I can enjoy and immerse myself into. One of the sites that I love to visit is this site that's called Roadside America. You can just go to Roadside America and you can search Garden of Eden. The person who created this installation, his name is Sam Dinsmore. He created this Garden of Eden initially as like a tourist attraction. Thought people would be willing to pay a ticket to see these statues. What ended up happening is that people would just kind of gawk from the sidewalk. He actually would nag them through speaking through a tube that ran from inside of his house to the mouth of one of his angel statues outside. I just think that is totally hysterical. After Dinsmore passed away, his second wife, who, by the way, just happened to be his teenage housekeeper, when he was 80 years old, he impregnated her. She quickly remarried after he passed away and sold the property in order to pay taxes. One of the owners of this property later on had offered $100 to anyone who would come and just bulldoze it into rubble. No one wanted to touch it. There was a kind of a fear about the Garden of Eden, like nobody wanted to trash it or demolish it or whatever. They were actually too scared to tear it down. This garden sat abandoned for years, and it was kind of like one of those spooky, haunting places until it was bought and reopened as an attraction in 1969. This time, the town gradually came to accept the garden. It was eventually recognized as an example of visionary art. In 2012, it was restored by the Kohler Foundation. I got back home and realized that this large limestone building that I saw was actually a mausoleum that he is in. And his first wife is actually in. And he used to have people pay 25 cents to look at it. When he was alive, his wife was in there. People would pay 25 cents and he would lay inside this fake casket or tomb and they would take pictures of him. It was in his will that he wanted to be part of this art installation when all was said and done. But we're not gonna go inside because we have a doggy. So we're gonna make our way down the road. And she showed me where the other museum is, and there's a world's largest toilet I want to go see. Strikeout, I'm sweating to death. Strikeout number one was, I'm glad I found that Garden of Eden, because the second one, which was the world's largest display, the world's largest collection of the world's smallest items of the world's largest things. It was closed. There was no lights on. The open sign was in the window, but it was shut off. And it did look like it looked like it was a ghost town. So I go down that main street and I turn around. This guy starts screaming, "You can't park there! You can't park there!" I so wish I recorded this. Usually the funniest things happen when I don't record it. So I'm sitting there and I rolled down the window and I said, "Excuse me?" He goes, "Do you play an instrument?" And I'm like, "Do I play an instrument?" And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Well, we're waiting for the band to come to play." The place must have been like a little bar or something. That's the only thing I can think of. And he's like, "You can park over here so that you can come on in and play." And I was like, "No, I don't play an instrument, but I sing like Alanis Morissette." And he goes, "Do you really? Come on in, you can sing with us." Yeah, I sing like Alanis Morissette. Okay, so we're on the road now. We tried doing that. She did tell me no, you need to sit down, buddy. Sit. So the lady at the Garden of Eden, also, I guess the guy who made the Garden of Eden is her great-grand uncle, which I thought was pretty cool. So she showed me where the world's largest museum of the world's smallest things and the world's largest things were. She also told me that there was a restroom on Main Street that was the world's biggest toilet. Now, you guys know I love a good roadside attraction, but I just couldn't put myself to go up and down on that main street to find the world's largest toilet. She goes, "Yeah, it's actually a restroom. You actually can use it." I can't even imagine. We're heading onwards now to our campsite for the night. I can't remember the name of it, so when I get there and I look it up, I have been told that it is a beautiful site. Now, my friend Marion gave me the GPS to this spot. That's a free spot for the night. And this is why it pays to connect with and build your own community of travelers and nomads and van life people, because we share information with each other. And yes, I share information with you guys, but this allows me to, if it wasn't for Marion willing to share this GPS point, I wouldn't have known about this spot. Come on. I think he thinks it's too windy out. Come here. It's not that windy out. Let's go check it out. Let's go check it out. Huh? Oh, look at these pretty flowers. Echoes up, your love surrounding me. Listen up, search high and low. Welcome, folks, to the Cedar Bluff Reservoir. So this is the spot that I was telling you in the previous scene where Marion had given me the GPS. I was a little bit concerned because driving in, like, this took a long time to get to. There was a very, very long, windy road, and the one bit of advice I will give you if you try to hit this spot, which I believe is listed on iOverlander, you want to make sure that you have gas, because as far as you're driving in, you have to remember turn around and be able to drive the same amount of miles to be able to get out of this location. But this location was absolutely stunning. I think probably one of my top 5 spots that I have stayed overnight in since I've started traveling in my van. So that says a lot for this location. It's basically, you are cliffside. You are looking out on this gorgeous reservoir. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today and checking out all the sites that I got to see. If you like these kind of vlog videos, make sure, if you're not subscribed, subscribe and follow along for my next adventure. And I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Bye guys.